just waiting for the platform manager to you can use. Yes, I can hear you, ma. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me, ma?
I can hear you.
Can anyone hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, can everyone hear me? Indicate.
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
I can hear you very well.
Okay.
We can't hear you. I can't hear you.
It's muted. She's muted. Unmute yourself, Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah, I know I found that. Sorry. Okay, good afternoon everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. We are very thrilled to have you here in our midst. My name is Gordon Elizabeth Nina, and I am the project manager for quality education at Do Take Action. And I'll be the moderator, and I am the host for today's panel discussion, which is celebrating International Day of Education. For those still joining us, we'll begin in just 2 minutes. So we'll be starting in just 2 minutes. In the meantime, please feel free to drop in the chat box where you are joining us from, and we'll love to see your community represented. So we'll just give our viewers 2 minutes, then after 2 minutes, we will kick off fully. So please bear with me, my panelists and viewers that have joined us already. For those that have not joined us, please do.
Okay. Close, close, I'm doing something. Close this thing, I'm doing something.
To our panelists, if you are not speaking, please kindly mute your mic. Kindly mute your mic, ma, please. Kindly mute your mic. the interruption. So I'm just going to begin again. So, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are absolutely thrilled that you're here. My name is Gordon Elizabeth Lina, and I am the project manager for quality education at Do Take Action. And I'll be your moderator for today's panel discussion. And today we are celebrating the International Day of Education. For those still joining us, we are already started and we will begin. So today we have a wonderful diverse group of people here today. And today International Day of Education, or this year's theme for the International Day of Education, celebrates the youth. Youth as young people cooperating in the educational system, helping educational system. How can youth cooperate and help and build the educational system? That is the theme of the General International Day of Education for 2026. But today, our theme today is the state of education in Nigeria and the impact made by individuals in advancing quality education. This year's theme centers on youth and recognizing young people just as best, not just as beneficiaries of education, but as active agents of change, innovators, and leaders in transforming educational system. And that's exactly what makes today's conversation so powerful and so timely. Our entire panel is comprised of young people who are making change in Nigeria educational system. So before we start, I would love and I'll be so privileged to welcome our panelists. We are truly honored to have four young aspiring young change makers today in our midst. It's so good to have you all in our midst today. So to quickly rush into it, I will introduce us individually. Mr. Timothy Ojo, joining us today, is an educational advocate and development consultant. He is deeply committed to advancing quality education in Nigeria through youth development and research-driven approaches. He brings expertise in connecting policy practices and young empowerment and represents a new generation of advocates reshaping how we think about education development. Thank you so much, Mr. Timothy, for joining us today. We are really glad to have you in our midst. Can you hear me, Mr. Timothy?
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
It's so good to
Can
have
you,
you.
all right, my player. I am so glad to be part of this discussion. I am so happy, and it is a privilege for Do Take Action to accept me into this kind of panel discussion. I am so grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Timothy. We are so glad to have you. Thank you very much. So I'm going to be starting the question with you. I have some questions that I'm going to start starting the panel section with you. So we are going to be first of all focusing on you, sir. So uh, as a young person that is currently working in the educational system of Nigeria, I want you to share a specific moment or experience that revealed the urgent need for quality education in Nigeria in your own context. A moment when you decided that you wouldn't wait for someone to fix education, and how did that moment inspire your work?
All right. Thank you so much once again. It's my pleasure to be here. I believe you can hear me very well.
Yes, I
Yes, you
can hear you,
cannot hear
sir.
me. All right. Before I begin, I want us to examine what education is. Yes, I will still tell how the moment that I pick up the interest in advancing the quality education in Nigeria. Education itself is to transform um, individuals and to refine their potential so that they can become a good person and add value to their society. And This thing has been degrading in our context in Nigeria. Many people go to school so that they can earn certificates, and at the end of the day, they cannot deploy any valuable things to people around them, even though to organization. All right, what I grew up in a local community somewhere in Nigeria, and when I was growing up, people around I see when they graduate, they come back home, start to farm, and it's not encouraging. I check to find out that what is going on because people that are in front of you, people that go before you, it is easy for them to influence you. But when you are graduating and
Lost him. I can't hear him anymore. So while we wait for him to come back online, I want to introduce our. Sorry, Mr. Tibotsi, we cannot hear you. Okay, I think we actually really did lose him.
please can you hear me
Okay,
now?
yeah, I can hear you. We lost you a bit there. We lost you, so you can go on.
All
We can hear
right.
you. Welcome back.
It was network issue. Don't mind. It was network issue. I'm so sorry about that. All right. That's how the race started. And I begin to find out that what happens, my own will not be like that. Like, why will I go to school and end of the day? I'm not saying farming is not good. Yes, I really love farming because that's what people around me do. But something that is substantial, something that is very good, more than the way people are doing it. I find out that there's no teacher. I can count how many times I do practicals in my secondary school, even though I'm a science student, and that's imposed a very negative impact on people that go to school. Whenever they get to school, they struggle. They just come up back, just feel like let me just finish, and at the end of the day, they add little or no value to the society, and that's why I begin to walk through how can now do it so that my own will not be like that. That's why I say, okay,
Okay.
yeah, that's the starting point. Yes, that's the starting
Oh,
point. That's how I picked the race. That my own should not be like that, and talk to everyone around me, young people, that education is not for you to win a certificate, but for you to add value to your society. Thank you so much.
education is
I
not
believe I've answered
just
the
about
question.
the certificates. Yeah, yeah. Education is not just about the certificates, it's about the value you can have. That's a very good one there. So, what about you, Mr. Chibuzo? Can you share with us a moment or an experience that revealed to you the urgency of quality education in Nigeria and you decided that, man, I cannot wait for anybody, I have to step in and find a solution to the issues of quality education in Nigeria? Can you share with us that moment?
Like there is the break in the connection. I can't hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mr. Chibuzo. Can you hear me? I directed the question to you, sir.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
hear you. Good
Okay, I
afternoon.
said good afternoon. Did you get the
Yeah,
question or do I repeat it?
yeah, very well. I did get the question. I don't know if I can be heard
Okay.
very well.
Yeah, you can be heard. I can hear you very well.
All right, thank you so much. A nice one for you and the organization for putting this panel together on such a special day like this. So I must commend, and then you're doing so well. So back to the question, what inspired me to start taking measures to improve quality education as a youth advocates back here in Nigeria was the state of young people in Nigeria, in my community per se, where I stayed. When I finished my university, I happened to be in a place where we're surrounded by a lot of marginalized and underserved youth and children who, though they go to school, but they are just going for the sake of it being like school just being like a way of life. Not they don't really know the importance, or they don't really see why there is need to go to school. And then I wouldn't, I couldn't really blame them. It was because of the state of education in Nigeria is actually the reason why um, most children, most youth, and most people are discouraged. Even the young children, most of them don't really know the importance of going to school. So I picked up the courage teaching children, because I knew how it was for me. Going to school was a kind of like a
I think we lost him also. I don't know what's wrong with the network today. It seems it's against us, but we'll forge ahead. Hopefully, he joins us. So, next, I'm going to be asking you, Mr. Timothy, from your development and advocacy work that you've been doing, what are the biggest gaps between the current education system that we have now, the current education that the system has now, and what young people actually need? What young people are telling you that is missing? Like, what is the gap between what we have now in the current educational system of Nigeria and what's the gap between what should be and what we have now? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. Thank you so much for the question. Um, Whenever I interact, or maybe I hold a session, or I try to talk to people, even though my students, there is always this saying that education is a scam. And this is because the skill and the knowledge that students have does not have any relevance in the real world scenario. And that has become a very big issue and challenge. That is the gap. Because anything we teach in school, anything you learn in school, we see many graduates now, they cannot provide solutions. Can you still hear me?
That's true. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. They cannot provide solution to the problem in the society. You see graduates, even though to solve just small thing, they cannot do it. And it's not their fault. That's why how our curriculum is being designed, just to memorize, just to solve calculus, which all these things they are good. But it's to the end that we solve problem in the society. What I notice is people don't have entrepreneurship skill, they don't have problem solving skill, they don't have critical thinking skill. Majority of people don't have leadership skill. Financial education is not there, because these are the things that school ought to teach us when we are still in school. And life will not ask you calculus. Life will not ask you, they will ask you the application, so to say. But what the life will ask, if you are employed in organization, they will ask, can you lead? They will test your problem solving skills, how you think. And school is not teaching all these things at the moment. I'm so sorry to say that. I'm a teacher. But these are the things I see. Many people, they are brilliant, they are very, very intelligent, but when they move out, maybe they finish schools, it becomes a problem for them to get a job because they are not employable. Because what organization needs is not in them. Yes, these are the gap I see. Everything we learn in school is not useful. I'm so sorry to say this. What the job market needs. And this has been a very large gap for us as graduates, even though for students. This has been what many people say, our textbook, can it teach us, to make money? Actually, it may not necessarily do that, but there are certain things that it must teach us to do. For example,
Okay,
economics.
thank
I'm
you.
an economics teacher. All right. Are you still here with me?
No, keep going. Sorry. Go on, go on. I'm here with you. We can,
All
yeah.
right. Like economics, there is a section of economics that talk about human development. We are not teaching them just to have theory knowledge. We are teaching them how to increase your value. Maybe there's somebody that you know how to speak very well. Instead of you making noise in the class, they can just create something like, maybe they do have that, but I don't know. They just do it so that for competition, but in a way that that person can see light in that. Like, I can use this thing to become somebody in life. I believe if we can do something like that, I think it can solve the problem. The problem is
To
the skill and the
summarize,
knowledge we gain in school does not have
okay.
impact or relevancy in the job market. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're trying to say in summary that this gap we are facing is that school don't teach the necessary life skills that students need, and they're just teaching basically theory. So to summarize what you said, so I think that's something that needs to be looked at as well, because the world is evolving. We cannot keep learning what was taught in the 90s, when most of the things that were used in the 90s no longer exist. So as the world is evolving, education and its scheme and the works that has been taught in school is also increasing. So Mr. Chibuzo, we lost you when you were sharing with us the moment of or the experience that's made you go into education. So Mr. Chibuzo, can you continue to tell us what made you become an education advocate? Like, what was the moments when you felt, I cannot wait for any other person. I have to become an advocate. I have to help fix the education system in Nigeria.
All right, thank you. So sorry, that was a bit of a network. So, but yeah, I don't know if you can hear me now.
We can hear
I
you.
don't know.
Please
Can
go
I
on.
be heard? All right, thank you so much. So like I was earlier stating, so my passion towards being an education advocate started shortly after I finished my first degree, and then it was because I was always surrounded by a lot of I happened to be in a community surrounded by a lot of marginalized and underserved children. And then shortly after finishing school, like our other speaker said, the reality in Nigeria is very different once you are done with university. You come and then you meet a society that has no has little or no place for certificate jobs. There's almost no job for anybody that's done with school. You have to know somebody, and then you tend to live on what you can do with your hand. So, skill acquisition has been one of my most primary preached means of impacting the lives of children. So I was like, if
Okay.
I am done with school, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. Please go on.
Yeah, so if I was done with school and then I'm actually living on what I do with my hands, why don't I start up an initiative that can start equipping the younger generation with something that they can do before they even enter university, and then something that they can build their life on, that they can hold on to, because the society we are living in right now is a society that is moving based on what you can do with your hands. So, yeah, I started an initiative just to impact the lives of young children so that they could learn something even before going to the university. Yeah, because I suffered from these little setbacks after finishing school. You need to start looking for what to run to and everything like that. But yeah, I had a skill to fall to. So, and I don't want any child out there to start teaching children. I set up an initiative, I got my friends, and then just to improve the lives of youth and children. That is why I got into this space to see children live better, no more, do more with the time they have, rather than just sitting at home and having no impact. We started teaching them musical instruments, teaching them computers, just to give them that hope and see the value, yeah, of education. So people actually
That's
really know that going to school
okay.
has, yeah,
That's so
that's what really
thoughtful.
like inspired me. Start with you, please.
Okay.
Start.
So you actually went through something and it's so thoughtful of you to not want
Yeah.
the next generation coming up to go through it. That is a very wonderful mindset, Mr. Chibuzo. Okay, to you, Madam Chekube, can you share with us what inspired you to become a teacher? Like what inspired you to want to shape education and shape the life of young Nigerians coming up?
All right, thank you very much for the question. I hope you can all hear me.
We can hear you, ma.
All right. So, glory be to God. I've always attended a good school, right from my kindergarten to my university level. So I didn't really experience any kind of hitches while going to school. At least I know that there are some students now, or there are some kids now. I know my one of my cousins that came from the village come and stay with us one time. So when he decided to stay with us for some time, we enrolled him in a school. So when he came back, he told me his ordeal. There are some things that are seen in the class that they have not taught them while they were in the village. So I always think that the education system in Nigeria is marginalized in the sense that those in the private school and those in the government school don't have the same line of getting what they really want when it comes to education, especially when you have schools like computer, libraries, and all that. So those in the village find out that when they come out of that shell, they feel so withdrawn because all those things that they've seen, according to my cousin that had experience, he wasn't seeing them in the village in the school where he attended. So I think the marginalization is what we look into if government can improve the education system in the rural areas. At least when they come out, they will know that hey, I've experienced kind of thing, even if it's not what is obtainable there. But at least they should try to make it to be a comfort for them, so that the children will not feel that they have not gotten anything in their classes. So the
Okay.
experience of being as a teacher, many things that students that don't have that background of getting a good um, equipment for them to learn, they are not seeing it there. So the government should improve in making the schools in the rural areas at least a little bit suit for them so that the education will move smoothly for them while they're in classes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So, to you, Mr. Chibuzo, you are a young person. This year's International Day of Education is featuring young person. And when we talk of young people, we cannot help but talk about technology and how good technology has been and how young people have been leveraging technology. So, I want to ask you, how how have you been able to use technology or innovation featured in your approach to improving educational access and equality? How have you used technology to improve this? How has technology been able to improve the educational system? Or how can we leverage technology in improving the educational system of Nigeria's education?
All right. I think the question is for me.
Yes, sir, it's for you, sir.
All right. All right. Okay. As I said earlier, now technology is the backbone of education. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
All right. Technology is
Yeah.
the backbone of education in this age. There is
That's
no
true.
way education can, quality education can be advanced without technology. And simply like there's a course now, like the federal government, they have changed computer study to digital technology. And I'm trying to check the reason behind it. And I could see that there is um, the narrow, because the subject is being narrowed now, they want to make it wide so that everybody can be captured. When I was checking the subject topic, I see different things that I really love inside. Now, why am I saying this? There is many people that they have quality education, they don't have contact with anybody. but they could learn, they could do many things today because of the availability of technology. Now, boil down to me, I run mentorship program, and what I use is WhatsApp learning network. I have a group whereby I teach people, and many people have not seen them before. I've never met them before, and I could see their growth in personal development and other areas that they like. And I see many community too that they are mentor to me, and that's what they do. They use that platform to share information to teach us. For example, like YouTube also, there are many people that they go to YouTube, they share information, they teach, you go there, you learn. These are the ways that technology is advancing education. There are many things we learn on YouTube. If if you have 200,000, you cannot get it. If you don't have 200,000, you cannot get it. But free of charge, you can, like this discussion now. I believe afterward we will being dropped so that everybody can watch and learn from what we are trying to discuss. WhatsApp, YouTube, all the social media platforms. These are the ways we leverage on to advance technology and learning platforms like Coursera. Some people they use LinkedIn learning. You can refer people there to learn, and there are many people that set their course on LinkedIn learning. Yes, I have somebody like Nigerian. If you have interest in this area, like me, my interest is transformative education. I can take a course on that, and people can buy it, or I can give it for free. These are the things that I will leverage, and I see other young advocates and educators leverage on. Yes, and it is actually fast growth. It is really encouraging people to learn, even though distance is not a barrier. People that are very close, people that are very near, they can learn. And
Yeah, that's true.
in school, uh, the thing is really paining me because this digital technology, that's the course I take. I take economics and digital technology. I feel pain. Like today, I was taking them some course, and I feel like we need lab that these people can see what we are trying to do, not just giving theory because I am not theoretical based. I don't really like theory, so that you can see what we are doing with your height. And I pray that one of these days I will still do that for them. Because one of the digital training I run like some months ago, you could see what we are doing. Like that's just
Yeah,
technology is the
technology has
backbone of
really,
education.
advanced.
So
Yeah,
thank you so much.
technology has really advanced. Advanced the way of education is been seen and given education a broader view for those that are probably limited to a certain space. Let's take, for instance, when coronavirus came, education did not end because there was coronavirus. It was the
Yeah.
help of technology and the usage of technology that helped us to be able to continue education while everybody was still observing the lockdown. So we cannot overemphasize the importance of education of technology in educational system, both in Nigeria and abroad. So, Mr. Chibuzo, um, can you hear me, sir? I can't really see you. Okay. Thank you. Next, yes. Can you have you ever how have you mobilized other young people, whether fellow teachers, whether youth advocates or students, to join in advancing quality education? What role do youth network, like a network of youth people and peer influence, play in your work? Like, how have you mobilized young people? How have you mobilized young people to take action in quality education to help advance quality education? And what are those things young people have done? And how did you mobilize them? Sorry, I can barely hear you. I don't know if I'm the only person struggling to hear him. Can we all hear him?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
No, it's
it's much
breaking. I
better.
cannot hear you very well. It's breaking.
All right, so sorry. I don't know. I think it's the network, but I think
Yeah,
I can
you're
be heard
okay
now,
now.
right?
Yeah, you can be heard
All
now.
right.
I can hear you now.
Okay, so what I do in my case, like I was saying, I all these qualities of leading and team building, and then working together with a lot of youths started way back. Like I said, the charity always begins at home. So I was able to learn this while growing up. From I and my siblings, we always knew how to handle tasks together, how to cooperate. So yeah, when I started my initiatives, I had my friends, I had my siblings, I had my family people. They were my first people to work with. So I always get them around by trying to paint your vision to other people to see. So once you can always let people see your view, it will be easy for them to have the same burden as you. And it doesn't come easy when you're starting out. People will be like, okay, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to teach the children and stuff like that? So but once you start doing it, initially you might have like few people not on your side, but when you are consistent at it, so I think my own life was the major reason other people started supporting me. I started posting on social media what I was doing. I started telling people. People always see me going to teach children, always see me doing things. So a lot of people started, okay, they want to be a part of it. Yeah, that is how it really started. And then, okay, you now start interpreting your vision to them. Okay, this is what I'm doing. This is what I intend to do. And this is the goal I intend to achieve over time. Okay, and then you tell like four people, you tell people from your church community, you tell people from your family. Yeah, just preaching the life you want to live actually, and then God will start sending people your way, and then you start seeing people that are having like-minded visions like you. So yeah, you have one, two, three, and then those other three people they also tell their friends, and that's how the numbers kept on growing. And then of course with the use of social media also, so after every class we
Of
post,
technology.
yeah, people started seeing, okay, where is this happening? No, they want to be a part of it. And then yeah, that's how the team started growing. But it first started like you doing what you want to do, and then people start seeing what you're doing and then wanting to be a part of it. It makes it easy to carry people along. Yeah, but being bold and having courage, because it's not really easy to do these things on your own. You must have people supporting you so you don't break out. Because on some days you'll be worried and stuff like that. But yeah, advocacy and then consistency has been one of the major ways I got other people to be a part of my vision and support.
Okay, so we can all see that we do not need to start big. To our viewers, you do not need to start big to actually do something about the current educational state in Nigeria. You do not need to be build a company, do something so large and extra. You can just start very little. Just start gather little people you have. Okay, let's go to this school and sensitize them. Let's we have this skill, digital skill. Why don't we go teach it to some teachers in this school that can help them with their work? There are different ways. Oh, I have these books I used that were really helpful for me when I was in secondary school. Instead of going to trash them, why don't you give it to a younger one, probably a neighbor that is by your side that's actually going through secondary school, so it can help them. You see, there are little ways we can all help in advancing quality education in Nigeria. It doesn't have to be a very grand, big event. Find something that you can do very little, and then when you begin to grow, it can then grow and escalate to how big you are envisioning it to be. But you don't just climb a mountain like just stand and boom, you're on top of the mountain. You climb it gradually. So next to Mr. Timothy, from how do you balance idealism and passion that drives youth advocacy with the practical realities of sustaining the long term work? What I mean is, everybody has idea. If I you can just then imagine things, and the imaginations in your head is just so. marvelous. Like it's just so wonderful. So how do you balance the idealism and then the passion to actually want to do it? Some people just have the idea. Okay, they go to a school and see the school is actually not okay. Has certain groups, lack of teachers, and I have an idea. I can actually do this. I can actually write to an organization that there's a school in my community that is this way. Right, this is a very good idea, but there's no passion to do it. They don't want to do it. So, how do you think we can balance the idealism and then the passion that drives youth advocacy? Because we are young people, we have lots of ideas, we can think far, vast, and wide. But how do we manage these ideas we're having? How do we balance it with the passion? How do we, from the idea, how do we move it into being the passion that will lead into working and doing something about quality education in Nigeria?
All right, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for this question. All right, I will first start from here. Uh, Passion is always born out from pain. Yes, born out from what you experience. And another point I will make is you cannot solve all the problem. I think I'm talking to all the youth advocates or education advocates. You cannot solve all the problem. And the passion is always born out of pain. And the last point I will make before I go into the details is uh, our world is not idealistic per se. Yes, but if you say this is what you want to achieve, you might end up not achieving that same thing. That should not discourage you that okay, I will not do it again. Now the first thing is to set objective. That's the first approach. Set your impact metric and your milestone. This is what I want to achieve, and this is what I will use to measure what I have achieved. That's the first thing. Have a clear objective because somebody can be born out at some point. Somebody can be born out and you don't achieve anything. That's the first point. And the second point is collaborate and network. You are not island of knowledge. There are many people that are already doing this that we can collaborate with. We have like Build Take Action is an organization that somebody can collaborate. We have Young African Leadership Initiative. We have Plug in Nigeria. We have many organizations that they are really into what they are doing. And for you not to be out of the course or for you not to be weak at some point because passion can drive you, but what retain you is the community you belong to. Because passion cannot solve problems. The only thing passion can do is can drive you towards that problem. Is the community that you have that can help you. Another thing is make sure you have a self-care structure because there are many advocates they will run up and down, up and down. They want to do this, they want to do that. There are many problems they want to attend to. At the end of the day, they burn out. Some people die in the process, and God cannot say "Oh, because you see a problem, you die. Welcome." That is not good. Somebody has a structure that you pay attention to your health. Very important. Uh, do exercise, eat good food. And the last one that's very important is empower others and delegate. Empower others and delegate. This thing can make your balance between your passion and your idea, and it can really solve the problem you intend to solve. I think if somebody can put in this four ways or these four strategies, can be able to achieve what you want to achieve without you going out, and you can be able to sustain your vision and your passion. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. So we should set objective. Okay, set objectives on how I need to do, how I need to do it, and then find an end goal. This is very true. I can also bring it to. We have at Do Take Action. We have. You can go to our website, register as a GDC. Okay, you have an idea of something you can do for education, but you don't know how to actualize it. If you register as a GDC at Do Take Action webpage, you are going to get a document and a guide on how you can take action and how you can help and what you can do and a step-by-step list of things and how you can carry out the action. So you don't need to actually strain yourself too much on what to do and how to do it. You just need to go to Do Take Action webpage, register as a GDC, get the guide on how to take and execute a project on education. So to Mr. Chibuzo, to you, um, how are you on can you tell us how can you hear me, Mr. Chibuzo?
Yes, definitely, I
Can you
can hear
tell
you.
me what role does community engagement play in advancing education? Like what role does community engagement play in advancing education in Nigeria? Like what role does you organizing a project, a community project to help children, probably children or even elders and parents in the community, what role does it play in advancing quality education in the country, in Nigeria?
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Like we all know, everybody or every family, every child, every individual actually belongs to a community, right? And then no matter where you want to carry out your project, no matter how passionate you are or how motivated you are, if you go to a community that is not ready for change, it might actually, yeah, might actually be a setback for you, right? So we always tend to, let's say, let me give a scenario. If we want to go to a school now to do a project, or we go to orphanage homes to teach them, or want to even, let's say, organize a youth conference or something to impact those people of that particular community or an organization, you have to go to the organization first. You have to do your survey, your baseline assessment, your endline. You need to even know what I'm trying to bring out to this community. Is it needed at this particular time? How is their readiness and how are they prepared for it? Who and who do I need to meet? Who and who is the stakeholder for this particular project? Who are the stakeholders? Yes, let's say is a community. Who is the chairman of this community? Who are the parents of these children? Who are the guardians of these children? Like you have to make sure that everybody in the community is engaged, is involved at various levels to make sure that, yeah, when you start your outreach or when you start your project or when you get involved or carry out anything you are doing, you don't have to have them roadblockers or setbacks. So it's very important that community engagement needs is a very, very core point to driving any social change in Nigeria, because Nigeria is a country that is very let's say we have a lot of ethnic groups, we have a lot of different beliefs. You might go to a school now and then some parents are not comfortable with their children learning this particular thing. Some we go to some schools and then the school some students are giving consent, their parents are not giving consent. Some schools want this, some schools don't want this. So at the end of the day, everybody in the community have to have a mutual agreement. They all have to be involved. Okay, we want this motion to move. So you see whereby we have cases whereby the school have to get consent from the parents of their children to even allow you to teach them. No matter how important they know you are teaching the children and how they are going to learn, we have to get the consent from the parents to allow you carry out this social change you want to impact. The school have to give you a consent and the children have to be willing also. You see, so there are key factors in every stakeholder. And sometimes if it's some other kind of project, let's say that has to do with the local government level, we have to also visit the local government chairman of that place. Yes, you have to let him know that you are bringing a solution to his community. So you don't just start and then you start having people say no. What are you doing here? All those kind of setbacks, they always happen when you don't do the right necessary assessment before driving any change. So it's very important. Community engagement is the reason why education is going to move. At federal level, state level, local government level, everybody must have a common goal, and they will be involved. They will be involved. They will bring their own quota to the table. They will bring their own measure. Okay, I have the skill, this one has the money, this one have the space, this one have the idea. So by the time everybody comes together, it's easier and it feels smoother to drive any educational change. Trust me,
To
because of um, years of
okay,
doing this, I've been able to witness this
from experience.
scenario play out.
To add to what you said, community engagement can also play a very crucial role in quality education. Let me give, for instance, the community school. It's let me just say it's not in good shape. The roofs are broken, or the walls are broken, or there's no board, or there are no seats. It is now for the community to engage themselves to fix these things. There's some certain things that we do not generally need to wait for the government to come to do for us. It's good. The government should take note of this and work on it, but not everything we need to depend on the government solely to help. Then the community school is broken. There are no seats. The community itself can provide sets that can fix that broken window that is causing rain to enter into the classroom. They can also fix that roof. Not every basic thing that we need to wait for the government for. Community engagement is very important. Either one person needs to engage the community, or the community itself needs to engage themselves. Like our speaker said, he said something about meeting the community leaders. First of all, telling community leaders of something that you want to do. Very important. Now you tell the community leaders this is how this is. We ourselves can actually come together and fix this particular thing that is happening in the school, or this problem, or the community lead head himself reach out to whoever it is that can help. So we do not solely need to wait for the government to fix some certain things. Okay, schools are out of students are not really learning. We have a problem of shortage of teachers in the school. You as an individual, though very busy, has children in your community, are your neighbors around, you can gather them and begin to teach them little of those things that they are not getting in school. Let's talk about, okay, let's leave the formal education and go to the informal education. Now about our Mr. Chibuzo said something about the necessary skills needed for, like the necessary skills that are not taught in school, which he saw and he decided to begin to teach children. That is something that someone else can do. So let me not talk too much on this because we still have so many things to discuss on. Madam Chekube, thank you for joining us back. I'm sorry about the network throwing you in and out. Can you talk to us as someone that is on the front lines? What creative solutions have you developed to address resource constraints? Like there's not enough resources. Like what necessary steps have you taken and what solutions have you developed to help the resource, like the low resource constraints and the learning gaps in classroom? How do you maintain motivation and how do you continue innovating despite the challenges in the educational sector? Sometimes we have challenges in schools that there are no sufficient books, or the school curriculum used is not sufficient, is probably outdated, and there are no resources. The teachers itself does not even have resource or teacher's guide to use. So, you as a teacher and as a dean of studies, how have you leveraged and how have you helped and developed solutions to these problems?
Okay. Thank you for the question. You know, as teachers, we provide. We don't really
That's
wait for
true.
the school to provide everything for us.
Okay.
Now, in terms of when it comes to some subjects where you need to put a practical life to what you're teaching, you need to make other to there are some different kinds of means that you have in your classrooms. You have the
Okay.
audio, you have the audio visual, you have the video. So you have to promote everybody together so that the teaching will go smoothly. Now, when it comes to resources being not enough for you to use, now we parents we always cry for money. We talk about paying our school fees, buying all this and that. Though there are some parents that are willing to provide everything for the child to bring to school, there are also some parents that don't have that money to provide what children need. So now, as a teacher, you need to provide either by involving your own um, finances to what you want to achieve because you need to achieve something. You want the children to know that this is what they want to learn from this subject. So as a teacher, you need to improvise by bringing out your own money from your pocket and all these things to you. Like when I taught them, we did what are they calling it? Feeding, how to make toast food. Now, not all every time start bringing bread from the like from the house. So what I did was improvise with myself. Do you understand? So there is no
Yes.
way if you provide those things to them, those kids will always remember that there is something like your teacher did something without involving their parents. So when they got home, some parents started calling me on phones. We did toast bread. My child wants to try it at home. This one, that one. So there are some things that you don't tell parents to provide for you. Those things that you can lay your hands on. You just go out of your way to provide it for them. So how do you motivate them now? Then we see other subjects where you need to provide some things like maybe you want to go into sewing or clothes. They can decide since they have seen that this teacher does things without telling them, you see some parents coming out with themselves to provide these things for them. So that's the way of motivating the children. You have to do it yourself first before you can do what involve their parents. But I
So we can now see that it actually takes passion to be a teacher, because if you do not have the passion for children and for students to learn, you will find out that it's very difficult for you to actually provide some of those things from your own pocket, like funding some of those things. So it takes passion, this passion. You need to have passion for kids and for education for you to be a good teacher. Because as she just said, she improvised most of the time when there are no resources. She improvised and she gets those resources from her own pocket. She found most of the from some of the learnings herself. So when the government is not providing, when the school is not providing, instead of meeting parents that probably do not have, she funds them herself. That is so very good of you, madam. Jacobe. That is something very very good of you, and I'm very very proud of you for that. Um, let's dive quickly into the next question. So I'm going to be going with you, Mr. Timothy. Thank you so much for joining us, our viewers that are still coming. Mr. Timothy, I need you to tell us. Um, you're here with us, right, sir?
Yes, yes. Can hear you.
Okay, okay. I just needed to confirm that. Okay, if this question is, we have seen the educational system in Nigeria and how it is sometimes, most times, not favoring some certain people and favoring some certain people. Like, let us take for instance, we have um, Nigeria has one of the largest out of school children in the world. We hold the number for one of the largest, like we hold the record for one of the largest and the highest number of out of school children, and majority of these out of school children are girls. So this is a discussion. Um, how do you think, or what do you think? First of all, what do you think are the barriers that are actually hindering girls from going to school? Let us discuss it, especially young girls. What are the barriers? Because we have a very large amount of out of school children in Nigeria, and then majority of them are girls. What do you think are the barriers that are hindering girls from going to school?
All right. Thank you
Melissa,
so much for the question.
okay.
Can you hear
Go on.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I thought you did,
All
but
right. I
yeah.
think when I was doing research on the discussion that I want to do, I came about the UNESCO report that says that 16.9 million children are out of school. That makes
Yeah.
Nigeria one of the top, maybe top three or top four. And
Yes,
that's
that
very
is true,
bad.
and it's
That's very,
bad,
very bad.
very bad.
Yeah, very bad. What I just see, my own suggestion or what I think could be the problem is there is this government focus more on people in urban region and neglect people in the rural area. If you check, it's not majority of them, all of them, they are from rural area. You see some schools in Katsina, Sokoto, that they don't have roof. they teach them under the trees, which is not supposed to be. And we have like 7% of our budget is being allocated to education. What is now happening to us? Yes, and I don't know. What I see the problem is they focus more on people in the urban region and they neglect people in the rural area. I was talking from the onset of my own story. I grew up in a local community. It has been like that. We have many people. There's one time that we do a project, get back to school project for people that are out of school in my local community then with PSO. What I see is government focus on people in the urban region and they neglect people in the rural area in terms of
Okay.
curriculum now. They use the same curriculum for everybody. They neglect them in terms of facility. And these people, it's not all of them that have money to go to private school. If you check,
Yeah,
yes,
that's true.
there's a
Check
public school
it.
that majority of them can go. And if you check public school now in the rural area, they are not functioning. I checked my primary school the last time. I could count the number of students there and the number of teacher there. I think that could impose a negative thing that make people not to go to school. Yes, because not everybody can afford private school. I think government should focus more on reviving the facility and give quality teachers to schools in the local area. I think the focus is
Okay.
more on the people in the urban area. I think that's the problem. That's the major cause. Because all these children, they are from rural area, cannot see children roaming about in the urban area. It's not that possible. In that area,
Okay,
that's
so
what I see as a problem.
government are solely interested in the urban areas, and if you check
Yeah.
it, most government schools in rural areas are actually quite in a bit of a mess. There are probably no teachers. The school building and facilities are not kept, and it's that bad. So the government are just basically trying to make the urban areas, but these rural areas are supposed to be seen and overseen by the state government. The state government are supposed to make sure that all schools in their region are actually being funded properly, but it is not being so. So government are just funding, and then this masses, most of the masses do not have the capacity or what it takes to afford the private school. So it just makes them, instead of going to school to waste my time, you can just go and probably learn farming or something. So it's making us not to have children in school, which is very, very bad. So the government needs to see the need of not only investing in schools in the urban area, but to know that majority of the people, majority of the masses in Nigeria are actually in the rural area and not just the urban. So they should stop focusing on the urban. Oh, there's a project, want to carry out a project, a building of a school. It's in an urban area. They're forgetting these villages, forgetting these towns, forgetting these communities that people are actually there. That is actually something. Thank you so much, Mr. Timothy, for that inspiring insight. So what do you have to
Yeah.
say, what do you have to say about the fact that you go to school, you graduate with a particular certificate? Like there's some certificates now, there's some courses in Nigeria that you are already being told that as you're going in, before you even register, they already tell you that as you're coming out, there's no job. So what do you think about this state in Nigeria that you actually graduate with a very good result, you graduate with a course, but that particular course does not have, you can barely get job with it. All they say all courses are important, that is true, but there are majority of the courses in Nigeria, majority of Nigerian youths now are not actually studying what they what are not actually working with their certificate. They're not actually working with what they study. What do you have to say about that current state of Nigerian education where youths don't get to go to school, just let it be that I am a graduate. Nobody's going to school because I want to work as this, or I want to be an engineer, or I want to be this. No, let me just get the certificate. What do you have to say about this current bad state of education in Nigeria?
All right. What I will say about that? Sorry. what I will say about that is, um, first of all, it not necessarily mean that what you study is what you use to eat or you use to earn your living. That should be part of our mind, that what you study might not necessarily be what you use. There are many people in the tech world now. Some study tech admin, they end up becoming data analyst. Some study zoology, they end up becoming cybersecurity analyst.
And that is because
What
there's
helps
actually
them?
little or no job in zoology. So instead of just studying and not doing anything, they decided to go to something that can fetch them something. Going through school and then you're in your toilet level and then you're seeing the lecturers that teaching you. Does not, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
personally,
yeah,
sorry to cut you, but I feel the reason they are going into something else or studying something else because they found out that what they studied is not actually going to fetch them anything. It's not actually
yeah.
worth anything. There's no job creation for that course. So instead of them just staying and then looking or going into something, they just need to go and get another skill. Meanwhile, that same skill, that ethical hacking and all those things they get, it's still another course. There's still another course that is being studied. So they didn't study that. If they knew that this had, they would have gone to study it. But they studied something else and they found out that this thing they studied is not actually fetching them anything. It's not actually creating any opportunity for them. And then they went to something that gives them opportunity. You can go on, sir.
All right. They end up becoming good in other fields. I want to submit to you. I'm so sorry to say this. Even though people that study computer science, computer related course, we still have some of them that does not have knowledge of computer. Is it
That's
their
true.
fault? No. Is it the
That's
fault of
true.
the school? I don't know. Because of the curriculum we design, it's just to memorize. Just memorize. There's no technical know-how, there's no practicality, just memorize. Everybody that become guru is those people that work on themselves. They take online course, they learn outside the school. And the question you ask, yes, you can. It's only there are some courses that maybe lawyer, doctor, that's just the two course I know that you will study and eventually you will become what school designed you to become. That's the two course I know. Yes, if you study any other course, if you don't pay attention to yourself, you depend on the school, you end up becoming something else that you may not really like or you may like. Assuming,
That's
for example, I study applied economics. I really love the course. Uh, Majority of things they do when I was in 400 level is they're supposed to be giving us the practical questions, and it's just two lecturers that do that. They're supposed to train us to become his consultant, but it's just two lecturer that always give us a practical question that you have to think, and they just be asking those other lecturer what is. I don't say it is bad because of what the school designed them to ask of. It's not their fault, but what
okay.
I'm saying is it's not necessarily what me. If I want to talk young people, I see them, encourage them, teaching them about career choice. I don't necessarily tell them that you study this course. I will just examine their strengths, because majority of people that become guru in this field, what give them uh way is their strength, what they could able to do. They have inherent potential in them before that time. And as a parent, as a people that want to go to school, focus on your strength. You can study what relates to your strength, which is good, so that it will not become waste of time. Assuming you have somebody that you love management, when it comes to home like this, you be the one managing everything. You manage this, manage that. Why can't you study management course like economics, business admin, project management? Or you love to just dismantle things. You love to want to know what is going on within the radio, tape at home, MP3 player. Why can't you go to maybe physics, electronics, or engineering? Because that will give you liberty to explore. And majority of parents, they hinder their students and their children from doing that. That's why they say, I want to become mommy lawyer, I want to become mommy doctor. Whereby your what God has put in the life of your children is not to that level, it's not to that direction. Maybe what God is saying, this guy is a good manager, and you are trying to push that girl to towards the law, to go and study law. At the end of the day, I've seen many situations whereby you see somebody graduate from law school, you come back, give the certificate to the parents, and pick up another
Career
degree or
courses.
go to,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
and that's very bad. What I've just submit is to children and to parents is both of them to come together, ask them, examine them. I think if from primary school, secondary school, you should know have known what your children will become, and you guide them towards that direction. Pick up the phone from them,
Okay.
pick what you do, and don't impose on them. Ask them,
Then,
what do you want to do? I believe
okay.
this can help in that area. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you so much. Welcome back, Mr. Chibuzo and Madam Chikube. Madam Chikube, I have a question for you before you went off. As someone that is um in the front line as a
Okay.
teacher, how have you approached? How was your closeness to the children, the student that you're teaching? How has that closeness helped in your approach to teaching? Like we have some teachers, like personally growing up, we're scared of them. We're not close to them. We can this chair is coming, everybody, the class just becomes as close as cold as a fridge. So, but you as a person, your closeness to your teachers, how has it helped in your approach of teaching, and what advantage does it have on you as a teacher, as a young teacher in this Nigeria's education system? Being close, I mean proximity. How has proximity affected teaching, your teaching, and how do we all become proxy and become close to our students, and how does it help even both parents to child and teachers to child as well? Let's hear from you, Ma.
Okay. Proximity is very important when it comes to teaching. Now, if you are looking for a school to teach, it's better you find a school that is nearby where you stay, because we all know how the Nigerian roads are now. The road networking is something that we can predict daily. You can wake up in the
Okay.
morning and you just meet up a very long list of. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ma, we can hear
Hello.
you.
Okay. I said that proximity is very important when it comes to teaching. Proximity in terms
Okay.
of teaching our having a school that is close by where you live. This is very important because at times when you want, oh, I don't teach in the school around where I'm living because maybe you feel it's a local school or whatever. You want to go into the urban area to teach. You end up not being close to your pupils or rather the students you teach. So it's very important that you have a close watch to your students. Now, you said that students are always yeah, as you say, you're not supposed to be rigid to an extent. I remember when I was young, I was in school, of secondary school, I had a government teacher. If you don't complete it, he will always flog you. So what you do to avoid this thing, you do what you're supposed to do and avoid the flog. Now, when it comes to the family section, most people are so fragile. Whatever you do to them, you have always think in their head, oh, this guy is trying to make me to feel bad or whatever. So you have to make yourself available. And one thing is, when a child has a problem at home, like the boy I had in my class then, he always complains to me, hey, it's okay. My father beat my mother and he didn't even say sorry. So you see that child being withdrawn. But because of the relationship we have created with the child, he's able to tell you what really makes him or her not to get concentration when you're teaching. So being close to your student is very important. they tend to tell you, look at what I want to do, but I tell them not to do that. As a child said that he wants to be a teacher, but the parents is restricting him from saying that he wants to be a teacher. Now, it is your duty to call on that parent to tell, to advise them for that
That's
child
true.
to be a teacher. He has seen something in that teacher that has made him to take that decision. You understand? So we parents should restrict that idea of telling our children what you want them to become, even when you know that this is not what you really want. So when a child, if a child can be proud to say, I want to be a teacher, there is something like in that teacher that handles in the classroom. That is what made him say that he wants to be. So you should learn how to place your purpose. They'll tell you what they feel about you, about the thing. Yes.
Okay.
So
Thank you so
you
much.
don't
Thank you.
have to
Let me quickly add what practices have you implemented in your school that has measurably improved students' outcomes? Like, what are those things you do to the students in your classroom, in your school, those practices that you've implemented, and you've noticed that it's actually improved students' outcome? And what obstacles did you face implementing those practices?
okay. Now, when you come to a class, you have different kinds of background. Now, what I do as a teacher is that I share my work daily so that everybody can participate in anything. Will I say, whatever I want you to handle. For example, when it comes to a class prefect, you make everybody to get involved. You either do it weekly. You want this person to be the person in charge of the books, you make it weekly. Everybody must participate in that particular title or whatever you want them to do in the classroom. You don't just designate that work to a particular person. Hey, because this person is very intelligent, or maybe he finishes his work on time. Say, okay, I want this to always be my book prefect. No, that person will be feeling rejected. So what I do is
That's
that
true.
I share the work to every child in my class. I make sure that everybody must do that particular thing, either in week or in groups. Now, if you decide to be isolating some students, there are some with some kids too that are children that are not that are introverts. We have some intro kids that are introverts. They don't want
Talk out
to
loud.
be
They
in
want to
groups
be
with
on their
people.
own and
So what you do,
reserved.
you just be introvert. You know because the child is an introvert, you will not give him the work to know. If he's an introvert, you make him to understand that this is a classroom, it's not a home where you choose what to do and what not to do. Do you understand? You do it
Yes,
with love and give him an advice. This is why you should be in group with them because of future. Because that child will not always be in the four walls of the classroom. One day you meet people outside the classroom. So I tend to advise them, join the group, do whatever they ask people to do. Even if you don't feel like just do it because the teacher wants you to do it. I feel it's not coming around. So you don't really put because this child is an introvert or an extrovert, there's a particular work for that particular child. No, you share that work to get to everybody so that you understand.
everyone.
You try to understand that you are in the classroom to learn, aside what's being
Okay.
taught in the house.
That's a very, very innovative practice that you have there, making sure that everyone is involved and nobody is left behind.
Yeah,
So no child or those students will feel I'm not as good as others. Growing up, we didn't most of us did not have
yeah,
those practices like in our schools. The teachers always have who they favors the most. If there's an opportunity, let me just say there's a competition, it's only this one. So, oh, we're doing something in class today, it's only this person. So no, not everybody were left behind. Those that are very quiet and their own, I should say like an introvert, I don't know how to speak up, they were always left behind. So it's a very good practice to want to carry everybody along, and that is very commendable, ma'am. Thank you so much. Mr. Chibuzo, the network has been playing with you, but welcome back. Are you there, sir? Can you hear me, Mr.
Yes,
Chibuzo?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so I will let's quickly round up. So I'm going to ask you to give a message to a 20-year-old Nigerian that is passionate about education, that really wants to be a part of education. Apart from, okay, we're going to be giving a message to 20-year-old Nigeria that is passionate about going to school, and another that is passionate about taking action concerning quality education. Let's give a message to those two individuals. Remember, they are 20-year-old, they are young. So, what message are you giving to them?
Okay, so you mentioned a young 20-year-old individual that wants to go to school. No?
Yeah, I said give a message to 20-year-old individual that is passionate about education, that really wants to go
Okay.
through with his education, but maybe has witnessed has encountered people that tells him education as scam or this, and then you are also going to give a message to a 20-year-old individual that wants to take action in education, that wants to help advance quality education in Nigeria, that wants to be a co-operational person in education.
Right. Thank you. Okay, so what I would say to a 20-year-old me, or if I'm to be, and using myself as a reference point for somebody that is, okay, the popular saying of school is calm and everything, yeah, that really was reigning for quite some time over the last, let's say, couple of years. But the thing is that to have global impact, one of my mentors always tell me that to be a leader, to be a king, right, you must be trained. So no matter how you see education being a scam or anything, every young person has this potential to, they always have this aspiration of doing something great, no matter how they tend to maybe shy away from it. So I would advise them to, education is a training, right? School is a training for you to be able to become a king or a leader. So it's not a scam, it's just that it's the way Nigeria has put a lot of things, but times have changed. You have to brace up, and then you can be that particular thing that you set your mind to do, right? All you just need to do is that you need to look for a mentor. Nobody can actually become anything without a guide. So, who are those people? The top 5 people in that field, that thing you want to become as a leader, they should be your mentors. They should be your guide. People around your space, people in your community. There must be somebody around you that has attained some heights. Yes. So be close to those people, right? Go and meet them. Like my mentor is going to always tell you, you need a network. You will not be able to become anything without good network. So cut off from those friends that give you such mindset and get closer to people that actually are on the top and aspire to be like them. That's what I would advise anybody that has a passion of doing great in the educational sector but doesn't have enough courage. Look for templates. Look for templates. There are a lot of great people in the world, great people in your community. Emulate them, meet them if you can meet up, walk up to them, and they will guide you. They will guide you to becoming everything that you are supposed to be. Yes. And then for the 20-year-old that wants to be an advocate, just start. That's the only thing I can say for you. Just start. Once you start, right, the universe is going to channel every energy you need. Sponsors, partners, friends, and family, they will come only when you start. You must be the person to take the first step. So just develop enough boldness, develop enough courage, and then just get to work. You will fail, you will start again, you will make some mistakes, but trust me, you're going to get it. Give yourself some time and just look for something that is a need in your present community. Don't go far so that you can't be saying you want to go and teach impact children that are staying in another state or in another country. Nobody will listen to you. So start with what is the most prominent case in your community that you can stroll to. The children I started teaching, they were just at my backyard. If you check around your house or around your community, there are people, even in your house, you will be surprised, even in your compound, there are people that will need some level of guidance. So don't go so far. Search from within your closest environment and start leading a change, causing a change, driving a change. And with time, you will
Yeah.
get the boldness because you can't fail at home now. Nobody will laugh at you in your compound. Nobody will laugh at you in your community. They will even support you. And then from there, you
Yeah.
can now start going far, start going to maybe nearby communities. So, like me now, I started from the community close to me, back of my house. From there, we've been able to visit other places around the city center where I stay. So, just start, go the courage, meet the right people, and then trust me, the universe are going to is going to come together to give you the right resources, the right sponsors, and people will start showing interest to your motion. But you are the leader of your initiative and your change. So far, there is a need. There must definitely going to be support. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. To the person, to the 20-year-old person watching this video, or any other person, you must not be 20 years old, but you have an interest in being an educational advocate, or you don't want to be an educational advocate, but there's something in your community that's actually wrong and you actually want to set right. You don't need very big, like I said before. You can just start very little. You can just start small, probably being a private lessons to some students around you, probably volunteering to be a teacher, probably volunteering to train some students in some certain skills, volunteering to help or fund a, a student that's still going to school, volunteering as well to help a teacher. So the little ways you can actually do this. You don't need to start too big or you don't need to start doing something too fast. For the person that is having double thoughts if they should go on education or not, education really is the key to the future. You might have other skills or other things you really want to do, but if you really want to go far in what you're doing, you really want to meet people across the world, you need to be educated. If you need to stand in the room and speak, you need to be educated. So the role of education cannot be overemphasized. Because of time, I will jump straight into the next question. Mr. Timothy, please kindly tell us if you could change a thing about education system in Nigeria, if you could change a thing about education, Nigeria's education system tomorrow or today, what would it be? And why would you want to change it? If there's something about Nigeria's education that is not actually sitting well and you have the opportunity to change it, what will it be? What is that thing that you don't like about Nigeria's education system that you would change? And tell us why in like 2 minutes, please, so we can round up. We're actually behind time.
All right, that's a good question. If I will change Nigeria education, what I will do is I will introduce some course. Start from junior school, secondary school, and senior secondary school and university. And these are the three key things I will introduce. Leadership as a course. You must be able to take leadership as a course in school. And the second thing is financial education. People must know how to manage funds, how to earn funds, and all that. And the last point will be discipline and moral values. Yes. This three course must be added to the curriculum. Yes, it must be added. If I have my way to do that, I will do it. And I believe if you can do that, people cannot graduate and be looking for job, or there's no job because they already have capacity. Anybody sees them, they must, even though if they don't look for job, they will employ them because they already have what to do. They already have, like, everybody in an organization, they are looking for leaders. Everybody in an organization, they are looking for people that know about financial education. Everybody looking for people that have good morals, people that are very disciplined. I think these are the three courses I will add to the curriculum from junior school to university. I think this is what I can do if it left to me.
Wow,
Thank you.
that is great. You're going to add three courses: leadership skill, leadership course, financial education, and discipline and moral value. Very, 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 very great. There's some people that have the best degrees, they have the best skills, but they are not disciplined and they do not have the moral value. Like they might be the most disrespectful people you've ever met. And you can't blame them. Some of them do not have the proper upbringing. They probably do not know what is right and what is wrong and what they should be doing. So these courses are actually very important. That is a very nice word from you, sir. That is very great. Mr. Um, okay, Madam Chekuve, please can you tell us what gives you hope about education in Nigeria in the next 5 years as a teacher for junior secondary or probably for primary section now? What's one thing you look in your children and your students and on your pupils and it gives you hope about the future? I'm like, I can see something about you in the future. So, what is that thing that gives you hope about education in Nigeria in the next 5 to 10 years?
Okay. Um, as we all know now, the 21st century teaching has really, will I say it has done more good than harm. It has also done more harm than good. Let me use that language. Now, um, schools are trying to inculcate use of PowerPoint while teaching and the use of computers to learn in the classroom. But it has also brought so many ills to the pupils. A child of 7 years now cannot invade someone's privacy. For example, maybe their parents, some of the kids know password now. They can do something with their phone. Now, I wouldn't say that the computer is bad, but there are some things we should restrict from the pupils, or rather from the students. Students nowadays don't even read their books anymore. Like in our old in the old good days, while we were in school, we are we have reading groups that we call these are our readers. Like when I was still going for my jam lesson, I had 4 friends where we can teach ourselves, give ourselves topic to teach. When we come to lesson and the teacher is not yet in class, we start teaching ourselves. But we find it hard these days where you see kids, or rather students teaching themselves. They rather wait for the teacher to come and teach them before they can grab something from the subject. Now, in the next 12 years, I know that the schools are going to improve very massively because of the use of technologies in schools now. But also, we should also make them to understand that it's not because we have access to this technology that will deprive us from knowing the root of the cause. For example, trying to understand what that is all about. Because everybody knows that if they just give you a question, you go to the internet, find the answer, put it up in the book. What are the practical aspects of it? Some children don't know of it. Now, what of those that don't have access to these technologies, like those in the rural areas? How do we um, carry them along? That is where the government should put in their best in ensuring that the school is more equipped and not just being equipped, bringing in passionate teachers, bringing in passionate teachers that where a child is leaving the school, that child is leaving, having a legacy in his or her mind that this is the teacher that made me what I am today. I'm not just coming to class to teach, get salary, and go home. No, we need passionate teachers that can inculcate all these things into the children so that when a child stands, the child will always think back to a teacher that made him to know that school is not a scam. Like we always say, if you say that school is a scam, go and speak English somewhere that learned people are. Maybe blow a blunder there, you know that school is not a scam. So we should,
Yeah, you know
for
that
those in the
school is not
village,
a
they tell how to even speak correct sentence. Do you understand? But we that are in the
yeah.
urban areas, at least we have access to all these technologies. For those in the rural areas, how do we carry them along? Because these people are going to come out in the space one day. They will not remain in the village. So in the next 5 to 10 years, 10 years to come, the government should look into the rural areas too, provide all these gadgets for them. So when they come out in a group, they will not be feeling withdrawn that I'm a graduate of a or a graduate from secondary school. I can't even access or I can't even give a simple sentence. Do you understand? So in the
Yeah.
next 5 to 10 years, I expect the government to put in some gadget technologies in the rural area so that everybody will carry it along. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, so we are coming to the end of this section, and I have a question. It says, I have a question from our viewers. Our viewers threw us a question. Say, I'm a parent. What is one thing I should start doing differently to support my child's education? So I'm going to direct this question to you, Madam Chekube. Tell us, this person is asking, say I'm a parent. What is one thing I should start doing start doing differently to support my child's education?
Okay. Now, as the dean of studies in my school, there are some friends that don't even look into their children's book. You bring back that result for the next term with the question papers packed into that exam booklet. What do we call that? It is nonchalant of that parent. Now, some parents are always after what their child comes from first. Is it first? My child is in school. My child getting first or second or third. This is not the most important thing a parent should look into a child. What of those ones that he knows how to do? There are some children that when they go to bed, they have all this ballet dance, drama, singing. Some children are good at it, even when they know that they are not good in academics. Now, channel that your dedication wants to channel be better in his field. Now, mommy, I like ballet class. No, no, can read your book, this one, that one. No, listen to the child first. Maybe from that ballet dance, you can now inculcate that reading aspect for you to have that child wanting of him or her to become for you. You give your dedication to that child, make sure you attend to everything he or she does in the classroom. Don't just look for the faults there. Applaud the good ones he or she does. That way, you
Okay.
can now be dedicated in your child's education.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Ma. Thank you. So you need you're trying to tell us that we need to be involved to pick out what it is. So the parents that ask this question, you need to pick out what it is that your child actually enjoys doing, like what it is that they like to do. So we need to stop inculcating because you want a doctor from your family. Say you don't tell a child that has interest in arts subject that you must go and study this art course, you must go and study this science course because we must have a doctor in our family, which is probably actually not really right. We need to let this children do that which it is that they want to do, and you will see them excelling in their field. If somebody has passion for something, they will do it very well. When you see people not actually doing what they should do well, it's because they probably do not have passion for it, but they were just forced into it. They were just forced to do something to it. So I'm going to ask you, Mr. Timothy, from this question this parent asks, can you chip in something? What do you think? The parent asks, what is one thing I should actually start doing differently to support my child's education?
All right. What I think, depending on the age of that child, if it is
Okay.
primary school child, it's just observation. Yes, you should pay
Observation.
attention to the person. Yes, observation. But if it is somebody in secondary school, engagement. Yes, they need to engage. Like you come back from school, what do you learn? How are you doing? Try to check the report card, and through that they can provide guidance. Like this is what you need. This is what you need to study. They should not impose, as you said, and they should not impose on the child that this is what must you must do, because when that is done, we later become frustrated, and even though they get to school, you just be doing it that I'm doing it for my mama's sake, I'm doing it for my papa's sake. He's not doing it for himself, and that will lead to, or we add to the problem of our society. The first thing for people in the primary school, observation, they should observe the child, and secondary school, engagement, which will lead to guidance. I think that's what I think they can do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. What about you, Mr. Chibuzo? Can you also chip in? What is that thing that you think parents need to start doing differently to support their children's education?
Thank you so much. So, like what other speakers have said, very important. So, just to chip in, So depending, first of all, you need to know the kind of the age first of all of the child. But yeah, and then from an early age, we advise parents. So we're trying to encourage parents to start watching their children even while they are still very tender. So those elementary results we get from their teachers when they are in like kindergarten, from play groups. I don't know. Some parents don't really pay attention to such, but yeah,
Yeah.
the report card from your child when he's in play group, daycare, all those things, the things that he does naturally even before make trying to speak. Yeah, you should be able to take those assessments. So when the child is growing, when he's entering his primary stage, you start tailoring down. Okay, I think this my child really likes music. He's left-handed. He likes this. He likes that. So you will start noticing them. It can't be too different, right? Once we pay key observation at these early ages of our children's age, we will always be in line with them. Before we even start saying this one will be a doctor, this one will be an engineer, the parents will already know if you place that close attention. If you see a child that likes music, you see a child that likes this, like likes that, you can also start patterning in your mind. Okay, I think this my child might be good. So you're waiting for them to now say it before you now even detect for them. And you say, okay, no, I agree with my child. So I think early detection is one. But if you fail that detection part, then I think if the child is already from 7 and above, you just let the child try a lot of things, and then like be open to letting them try different things. Like, okay, daddy, I like this, I like that, I like this, I like that. Let them try. So as they are trying this, you'll be able to tell where their strength lies. You can even encourage them. Why don't you join the chess club? All those things. Encourage them to be a part of clubs and society in their school. Encourage them to do anything they want to do. So far, curricular and extracurricular activities. When you are doing the assignments with them, always engage them with discussions of how their day went. Just this basic parental care would be able to, yeah, give a parent a guide. Yes, and your child will not miss it.
Okay, let's ask. We're going to next. Before this, give the last question before we round up for today. It's going to be a yes or no question, just yes or no, each of you. So he said, should Nigeria focus on increasing access to education or improving quality first? Let me explain. Should Nigeria focus on increasing the access to education? Should Nigeria focus on making sure that every child is in school first? Or should they improve the quality of education first before they make sure every child should be in school? So I just want yes or no, then we can discuss it. But yes or no. So what do you think, Madam Chekube? Should Nigeria focus on increasing access to education or improving quality first? Which should they do first? Increase the access to education or improve the quality? Madam Chekube, please answer.
think they should
Yes
improve
or
the
no? Which
okay.
do you think?
They should improve
Should
the
they
quality first.
they should improve the
Yes,
quality first? What about you, Mr. Timothy?
yes.
Uh, this question you want to put us to the corner because if they don't, yes, if we said it should improve the quality, what about those 20 million children that are not in school right now?
That's
What
true.
will happen to them? I don't know
Just pick
what
a
to
side.
say, but me, I will go with access because they need access.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What about you, Mr. Chibuzo?
Mm. I think first of all, access is very very important. But different community will have different needs. So I think government should just do their needs assessment and then know where they need to improve, where they need to increase. So it's both ways. Both answers are right. So it depends
Okay.
on the
Ma,
community.
you said that you first of all increase quality. You said access, and he said, no, you need to pick a side, Mr. Chibuzo. You need to pick a side, not both of them. Which do
Oh,
you think?
for now, the easiest one to solve is quality. Access takes a lot of time. So yeah, the one that is already working, let government just improve on that one first. We will get
For
access to it,
me,
right?
I stand with you, Mr. Timothy, because I feel access. They should make sure that all child is in school. It does not need to be quality yet. They should first of all have the little knowledge, then they can find that quality themselves. I don't know. I don't even know this standing with me. It should be first of all, everybody should have access to education. When they know the little they know, they will desire to know more. Then they can then, if they are all in school and then they have this desire to know more, they can then press the government to increase the quality. I don't know if somebody's that's influence from my own thing in any way. But so this question is a one way thing. So two of them are really important. Every child needs to be in school, needs to have the access, and again, every child, every education needs to be quality. So let us end with this in our mind, our viewers. What do you think, our viewers? Should we increase quality? Should it first of all be quality before access, or should it be access before quality? Thank you so much, everyone that joined us today. Thank you so much, our wonderful panelists. It has been a very long time, a very long section, but I believe everybody that joined us has gotten something. I believe we have all taken something from today's session. Let me just be a very lengthy hours of just talk,
Sorry,
but
I'm sorry.
okay.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for interruption. Yes,
No
this is
problem.
about the person that asks what she should do concerning her child education. Yes, for people in the formative age, I have a theory like what I believe in. Nobody is a dullard. We all become the result of what we experience in our primary school. Please, whenever the child, maybe primary school student, whenever you do something wrong, they should not shut the person down. Yes, they should
Okay.
encourage. Yes, because most people that are dullard today, intrinsically, they are not a dullard, but they become that because of what happens to them in primary school, and they believe it, and they are living in that. I think that should, from the side of the teacher and the side of the parents, they should not shut them down. I think they are still growing. If they carry maybe 20 out of 30, they should not say, "Are you the only one? What about the people that carry first?" Now, that can affect the mind and the mental of that child. They should encourage him that you can do well, you can do this, you can do that, so that the child can become a better person in the future. Thank you so much. That's what I want to say.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone that joined us today. Thank you our wonderful panelists. Thank you our wonderful viewers as well. I'm so excited and I want to extend my deepest gratitude to our incredible panelists. Thank you all so much for sharing with us insights, struggles, journeys, and how we can all do better to improve education, and how we can all do better as education advocates, and how we as students as well and parents as well can improve education for our kids and also for the community. Thank you so much. Until we meet again, thank you and happy International Day of Education to every one of us. It's tomorrow, so tomorrow you can celebrate a child in school. You can do something to mark the International Day of Education that is happening tomorrow. You can do something in the life of a teacher, in the life of a student, or in a school. Just make sure that you were doing something to wish someone or an organization happy International Day of Education. Thank you all so much. Thank you. And thank you for all those that joined us today and asked questions, that shared their thoughts on the chat and engaged. You are a part of the big family. Thank you. Thank you all for joining us. Bye.